Hello nerds. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing more chess, which is pretty expected. Now I am at an all-time low rating since like the past 2 years basically. 1919. We're going to try to climb back up to 2100, not within this video, but within hopefully the next couple of weeks. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about today, mostly about the chess, but a couple of just interesting things about my life, or I guess interesting to me. I don't know how you guys will see it, but let's do it. We're playing the Jobava London. He plays a6. Okay, he's playing a normal line basically. He hasn't developed a single piece yet though, which is pretty funny. Let's go 95. Is he me with the? What's he gonna play here? He's gonna take it. Okay, I mean, pretty weird position. He hasn't played f6 or developed really any piece at all, and he's going for a b4 or b5. So this is gonna be a fun game. Now, how do I actually deal with this? I'm not too sure. It looks like I'm going to be castling kingside, so we might just play like h4, h5. Here's the thing. I don't want to get hit with b4, obviously. But knight a4 is never that bad. Knight a4 is always a decent enough move. So I could play bishop e2 here. Or bishop d3. Bishop d3, c4, bishop e2, right? I wouldn't want that either. Let's go bishop e2. Just develop our piece normally. b4, knight a4. Okay. This makes knight a4 impossible. So now I actually have to deal with it. I have to play a3 because takes, and then knight a4 is still fine, given that the rook would be protecting the piece. He plays h6, so we're going to play h4 just to stop g5. And this is already a very strange game. But that's how it is sometimes. That's not a problem. We're going to be able to deal with it. Let's go. Yeah, I'll just castle. He's going to be castling soon as well, I assume. Or at least I would hope. And I don't like this position actually anymore. Oh no, we can play h5. I do fuck with h5. We can double our f pawns, and it's not too big of a problem because then we can play f5 at some point. Yeah, very nice. Okay, and so now just about finding the right time to play f5, maybe a potential knight sacrifice here and there. And guys, here's what I wanted to talk about is I like to go on walks. Okay, I'm a big walker because I like walking. Okay, well, no shit, I like walking. Otherwise, why would I go on them, right? That's not what I'm trying to say though. What I'm trying to say is I typically go on walks at nighttime because it's cooler, and I mean that in both senses of the word cool. It's got more aura, and the temperature is nicer. And let me think about this move, and I'll get back to my point. I want to play bishop d4. He's gonna play d4. That kind of kicks my knight. I want to play knight e4, So maybe bishop f3. Bishop f3 makes d4 impossible. And then I can play queen d3, queen d2, one or the other. I would like to play queen d3 just so I could play f5. Let's do it. Then I can play like rook d1 or something. And we're good. Yeah, rook d1, rook e1, and then we'll be okay. Especially after f5. Now, is this guy going to castle, or is he going to keep his king in the center? Because I think either one will really benefit me more than him. I mean, if he castles, I guess that would benefit him more. Like, his king is safer, yes. But we already have a pawn on h5. We're going to be launching a, full kingside attack. We're going to be exposing our king, but also attacking his. So it should work out in the end. But anyway, okay, queen b6, queen b6, queen b6. That's so he can play d4 without losing a piece. I feel like f5 here is kind of a given. But I guess also c4 is possible. I mean, c4, f5. Yeah, that does kind of suck. That does kind of suck. Because if I play f5, he plays c4, and I play like queen d2, he just takes my pawn. Like, why would I ever do that, right? Maybe we play, I'm not too sure. Not too sure. I'll just play rook d1. I know I want to put this rook here anyway, so it's fine. And I'm not going to commit with to f5 until I'm sure that I can get away with it. So potentially a b3 might be necessary. Okay, he plays c4 anyway, which makes things harder for me a little bit, but it's fine. Because now I do actually need to find a way around. Let's just say I go queen e2, and then I play f5, takes, e6 maybe. That's not the worst thing in the world. We can do that. Yeah, we can do it. We can do queen e2. But guys, when you walk at night, okay, it's very, very peaceful, right? It's very, very peaceful until it isn't. So you can be walking at night all you want, and there's not going to be a lot of people, which is what makes it peaceful. But then the few people that you do encounter, you're going to be a lot more wary of them because, well, they're potentially more dangerous. Because not a lot of people walk at nighttime. Anyway, f5 here, b4, f5, b4. If I take, he takes a knight. If I take on f7, I mean, king takes e6, king back. Okay, can I get away with this? This is so like nonsensical. It's actually kind of insane that we're playing something stupid like this. Hmm. Yeah, I suppose we go f5 here. b4, 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 b4. I mean, b4, knight b1, right? If I have to. I think I sack my knight on e6 here, take on f7, go to e6, and then we can take on b3. Because if I go to b1, he just takes on f5. What did I actually achieve? I just lost the pawn. Let's go to b1 or a2, either one, but I think b1 is probably a little bit better. Even though that is not what I meant to do. Why would I do that? I meant to sack my knight, didn't I? Didn't I just say I was going to sack my knight? Yo, I'm actually stupid, bro. Okay, anyway, we're going to have to play e6 then and then just play down a pawn, which could be it's possible. It's possible. Takes on f5, we play e6. If he takes, then he's going to be worse. If he takes and plays like f6, then yes, he's invoked a lot of weaknesses. Okay, interesting. He doesn't do either one, which, okay, to my knowledge, this is weird. But okay. I mean, no big deal, right? Um, you know, bishop g4 here. Where would he go? Because now I'm inclined to play something like b3 very soon. Takes, knight. That doesn't look very good. We'll figure something out, though. I think he might have messed up a little bit, at least in his evaluation, because now I still have f4 in the future, like after king h1. Right now I can't because there's a queen staring down my king. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah, bishop d7. Okay. I do like queen f3, although it doesn't yield much benefit other than the fact that he can't really castle kingside anymore. Which is what I would like him to not be able to do. Now, if I play f4 here, where would he go? f4, 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 f4. Okay, let's just say bishop e7. Yeah, that doesn't look too appealing. So maybe queen f3 first. Thing is, yeah, queen f3 also supports b3 as an idea. I do like that. I do prefer that. Okay, he goes rook f8, so he's given up his right to castle. We can go queen h3. Yeah, queen h3 and then rook takes d5 potentially as a sacrifice. Could be okay. We could try it. There's also potential rook lifts, like if we play b3, for example. Then he goes like c3. We play rook d3 and then rook d1 if I want to. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing this because something like rook takes d5, e takes, okay, it's no longer possible. So that's why I think, yeah, we'll probably have to go for like b3 or c3. c3, b3. I don't like that. Actually, no, wait. Takes, c3, b3. Okay, knight a3. That knight still sucks, though. And that's the bigger problem. That is the bigger issue. You know? If I play b3, he goes c3. How would I actually dismantle this guy, right? This knight would be stuck on b1. Maybe I start by taking. We'll start by taking. I don't have too much time to think left. So we'll try to figure something out in the meantime. Now, okay, if I play c3 now, okay. If I play b3, then this creates kind of a void on b4, but there's really no way for me to exploit this void, other than potentially playing f4 in the future. Again, that's not something I can do right now. Hmm. c3, b3, knight d2, knight f3, knight d4. Let's do it. Let's do it. I would rather that over b3 to be, or yeah, over playing b3 to be honest. And now we can go knight d2. Very nice. Then we can go knight f3, and then we can go knight d4. That's not that bad, is it? That is not so bad. Because then we would be attacking e6 as well. Also, this is just a very decent square. And yes, he has the bishop there, but I would say, we have decent counterplay for what it's worth. Considering I didn't even play the move I wanted to. I was talking about sacking my knight, and then I just played a different move. Maybe it was for the better. Who knows? Also, the ability to play rook a1 kind of opens up now, which is very nice. He's going to be doubling his rooks, it seems. Not my biggest concern, to be honest. Like, f2 is still decently protected. I mean, not really, though. I guess we can keep the knight on f3 for the time being. Then we can always play, yeah, rook d1. Or actually, going to d4 would solve this problem in a couple of ways because the queen would no longer be looking at f2. Yeah, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is completely fine. Now let's go knight d4. Now we're attacking this pawn. So bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes. Wherever he goes, I take this bishop. I'm up a pawn. Then I go rook takes d5 or something. And try to win this game. Now we have 3 minutes. He's got 4, so we're going to have to speed things up a little bit. But the thing I was trying to say is when you're walking outside alone at night, you're going to be wary of everybody you encounter. And you're not going to try and mess with anybody unless, there's something wrong with you or you're a criminal. And guys, I'm 6'5", right? I'm not 6'5". I'm 6'1". Okay, hold on. Bishop takes e6. Bishop takes e6. Queen takes e6. Queen takes e6. Knight takes e6. That looks good to me. I mean, fuck, bro. I don't see any issue with that one. Let's do it. Let's do it. Being up a pawn is always a good thing. So why not? And he has to trade. He has to. I mean, absolutely necessary in this position. If he moves his queen, we even have knight c6, right? And then potentially, I mean, rook a1 ideas. Just bringing the rook over and absolutely destroying this guy. There's plenty of things. Yeah, he takes. Smart. Okay, we take here. Now we're threatening both this rook and the bishop. I mean, the bishop's protected, but the rook is obviously worth more than the knight, so he's going to want to keep it. We can take here, and then we can take on d5, and that should be 2 extra pawns. Okay, beautiful. And it's a passed e-pawn, which we can start to somehow try and maybe push. So I'm thinking rook e1, e6. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I need to make sure that I don't mess this up. Because it's very easy to mess these up. I could give him the, double his rooks, but I don't want to let him do that. So we're gonna play rook e1. Yes, we're gonna play rook e1. We're gonna give him a check. Okay, we're gonna give him a check on on b5. If he goes to a7, he's gonna be checkmated. If he goes here, then I'll be able to win the c4 pawn, and then subsequently, hopefully the g4 pawn. Let's try it. He has to go to c7, and then, I mean, we give him another check, take the c4 pawn. He can take on e5, yeah. All fine by me. And, yeah, nice. g4 is coming. So even if we lose the e-pawn, we're still going to be able to win at least 1 pawn back, hopefully 2. Beautiful. And yeah, I'll take here. If he takes on h5, then we can take on g7. And at this point, it's just converting. It's nothing too difficult. But I guess I'll go with my story in the analysis portion of the game. This guy hasn't really been giving me many opportunities to just, talk to you guys, which is fine. I'm going to go rook g4 and then rook b3 next. It's hard to say what he would be going for. I guess maybe rook a5. Okay, rook a5. Oh, what's up with that move? Anyway, we're going to go rook b4, then we're going to take on b3. And at that point, he's not going to have a single pawn to push, and that just, there's no real need for me to do that. I could honestly just start pushing my my g pawn right now. But it's kind of just to kind of ease my mind a little bit, make sure I don't mess up anywhere, especially since the time control is pretty low. It's not like I'm going to just lose this game. But even then, I'd like to ensure that, I'm win this game comfortably. Yeah, he can take on f2 if he wants. Now, we could, yeah, we're going to take on b3 here and king g3. And then we can just start pushing this g pawn or the c pawn. Either one works. Whichever one I really want to push. Doesn't matter. Okay. f4. g4. Rook a3. Or maybe rook b4. Yeah, rook b4. By the way, we blundered our g pawn a little bit. I blundered my g pawn a little while ago, and he didn't notice it, which is nice. So this looks fine. We can just push this g pawn. The king is cut off from ever going to the b file or further, and he resigns. Okay, good game. Good game. Now, guys, to what I was saying, right? Let's go into the analysis mode, by the way, and take a look at this game. I walk alone at night at 12 a.m. Okay, I don't do it because I'm weird. I just like it because the temperature is lower and it's very relaxing. I can walk for literal hours and just think about random things. And it's also when I'm most free, which is at night. And guys, when there are people passing next to me, I don't talk to them. I don't get close to them. I don't chase after them. I don't try to mug them. I just go a little farther, as far as away as I can from them while staying on my sidewalk, and I walk past them. Now, guys, tell me why. Tell me why. Me, 6'5". I'm not 6'5". I'm 6'1". But tell me why at 6'1", and I work out, right? So I'm a healthy young male. Tell me why I keep getting fucking chased by random people at night, okay? Why me? Because I don't understand. Because I feel like I have, phenotypically, by my build, a man, healthy, young, that is the last person you would want to chase. Because I could potentially, I could defend myself. I could have anything in my pockets. I'm not, an easy target, if you were looking to rob someone. And I feel like if you wanted to beat up someone at nighttime, you would choose someone who maybe was of smaller stature, or maybe was out of shape, or, a kid, a woman walking her dog, like a small dog, a chihuahua or something. I don't know. Why me, bro? And it's happening so much. I live in Canada, guys. In Canada, we don't really have, crime that is that bad. It's a good country. So why do I keep getting chased every fucking time? Okay, one time it happens, all right, I understand. Second time, okay, it's kind of weird that it keeps happening. Third time is insane, bro. I literally do not feel safe anymore walking at night. Okay, we play h4 here, and this weird position, I don't even know what to call it. Let me turn the engine on, because I remember someone requested to see the engine during the analysis portion of the game, just to compare it to what was happening. So we're going to have the eval bar up here. He goes knight g6. We go h5. We trade. We double our f-bonds, and this position is fine, because after bishop c6, I was supposed to play f5, apparently. And if he were to take bishop f3, I guess. Bishop f3, queen c7, then what? Knight takes d5, okay. Queen d7, still knight takes d5. Okay, he cannot protect, he cannot protect d5. Because there's 3 pieces attacking it and only 2 defending it. He cannot add any more defenders. That's nice, so yeah, knight takes d5. Rook b8. Bishop c6. King f8. Yeah, we take away his right to castle. We win our pawn back, and then we go queen f3. Okay, I see. So this would have been a much better line for me to play. That is, if only if he took this pawn. Realistically, he probably would have won d4. And from d4, I could play bishop f3, apparently. Bishop takes f3, queen takes f3. If he takes this knight, then we have queen c6 check. Okay, queen blocks. Yes, and then we would win the rook. If the queen doesn't block and he goes king e7, then we have queen takes c5, king e8, queen c6, and we force a stalemate by repetition. Very interesting. Okay, I mean, that is a worthy line to consider. Now, here I played bishop f3, and the point was he cannot play d4, obviously. And then I was going to play f5 next. Here I should have just played f5 because as we saw, him taking just permits me to play knight takes d5. So I don't know why I didn't really consider this. And of course, if he castles, then we take on e6, f takes e6. This is a big weakness that's going to last for the rest of the game. Bishop d4, and this, you know, he has to protect it. But guys, I've been recently just getting chased by literally everybody, bro. Like, I was walking near a park. Okay, it was midnight. This guy across the street from me, he's walking parallel to me, but to my right is a park, and I'm not walking in the park because it's 12 and it's like pitch black, right? You cannot see anything. So I'm walking. I every now and then I like turn my peripheral vision just to make sure I can still see him, because you never know what's gonna happen. Like, I gotta be careful with everybody out there. Bro, this guy, he waves at me, starts jaywalking, all right? He almost gets hit by a car, gets behind me. He's like 7 meters behind me because I'm speed walking out of there. I don't want this guy walking behind me. And I have two options. I can either keep walking forward, or I can walk right into the pitch black park, okay? What do you think I do? I walk right into the pitch black park, because this way I can tell if he's chasing after me, right? Then he'll go into the park. If he's a regular dude, there's no shot. There's not a single chance he would go into this park. There's literally nothing there. Now, first of all, when I walk into the park, I get fucking jump scared. There's the random dude sleeping there, okay? And he's like standing, by the way. I don't know. He wasn't really moving. He was just chilling, which actually scared the shit out of me. So at this point, I'm basically jogging. I'm getting out of there. Bro, when I tell you, I turn my head like this dude walks up to the entrance of the park, because there's many entrances, by the way. Like, I was trying to circle out of the park, and there's like 4 of them. He stands there. He does a sharp 90-degree turn and just walks into the park, okay? He walks after me, bro. And then there's like a pavement area that you can walk through, which is where I was jogging-ish. This guy starts cutting through the grass to catch up to me, bro. When I tell you I turned into a D1 track star, I don't think I've ever run this fast, bro. But anyway, these things have like literally kept happening to me. And sometimes it's not as bad. Sometimes it's just like a really weird encounter. Bro, I just want to walk, bro. I just want to listen to my music and walk. Is it that much to ask for? Now, it's pretty nasty, you know? Okay, we go queen e3 here. He goes queen b6. I go rook d1. He goes c4. Yeah, we go queen e2. I mean, I was supposed to play queen d2. It's hard for me to say why. I guess because a takes b4, bishop takes b4, so that I could pin my queen. That doesn't make sense. I don't know why I would ever do that. I go queen e2. If he went b4 here and I took, then this would have been fine. Okay, knight a2, right? Okay, bishop e7, c3. We're chilling. I mean, we're not really chilling. Like, yes, we're worse, but I don't see how having a queen on d2 would be better in this situation. Anyway, we play f5 finally. At this point, it's too late because he gets to play b4, and I go back, which is a mistake. Now, apparently, here's what I wanted to do was f takes e6, he takes, I take, he takes, e6, cb. Okay. This doesn't work at all. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Apparently, what I was supposed to do was to take on b4, and then if he took, I could go and take on d5. So sacrifice my knight, and then if this were to happen to play f6, okay, takes, right, this bishop can't move, it's pinned. So this would have been very, very interesting. I guess he would have to go to bishop fa here, but this would allow for bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, rook takes d5, and now this king is in a lot of trouble. Obviously, he cannot take because this is basically guaranteed checkmate, right? And then queen e6, rook e5, we win the queen. So, yeah, very interesting. So the sacrifices were there, they just weren't where I was looking for them. Yeah, knight takes e5 is a brilliant move. What do I do instead? Instead of taking, I go to knight b1, and this is bad now, but he goes bishop g5, and he also misses the idea. I take on e6, okay, and then I play bishop g4. I'm attacking this pawn. He brings the bishop back, and now it's not so bad. We go queen f3, okay, queen h3. Looking at e6, a lot of mistakes made in this game very clearly. I mean, he's a lot better. We take on b4 finally, and I play c3. And after c3, we go to knight d2. Now I'm actually activating my knight. Now I actually like my position because he kind of gave me the ability to like my position. What he should have done in the spot where he was better than me, instead of long castling, was he should have played bishop f4 and went after this e5 pawn. Okay, if I play rook e1, and he's supposed to go bishop g5. Guys, what the fuck is up with Stockfish? I mean, seriously. Who's going to play bishop f4, bait out a developing move for your opponent, and then go back? That doesn't make sense. Okay, a takes b5. Whoops. And takes b4. What about c3 now? Ah, queen takes f2. I see. So it wouldn't really be possible. Interesting. So baiting out rook e1 does have some benefit. Very interesting. If I played like rook e2, I guess it wouldn't have helped, huh? And then, oh, he would have just played c3 himself. And then what? Bishop b5. Ah, very interesting. Yeah, and then if I go rook e1, queen takes f2 again. Okay, so he had various tactics on this diagonal, on this f file, which he missed, and which I also missed. For queen h3, he castles, and now we can just play c3. And yeah, this f2 square is safe, and I can start safely developing. He doubles his rooks in hopes of actually, you know, doing what he was supposed to do five moves ago. But now our knight goes to d4, and this knight is chilling, okay? It protects this f2 square. Well, it doesn't protect it, but it blocks it. And he can't really do anything about it. He cannot kick it out. And yeah, playing king b was weird. We win our pawn, and at this point, he is just a lot worse. We win a second pawn, and the rest is just endgame conversion. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good win. Very decent, very solid win. I'll take it. I somehow, like, fell down into my chair. But basically, yeah, I mean, what I want to talk about was my frustration, because I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to walk safely, but there's a large amount of, there's a big homelessness problem where I live. There's a big homelessness problem all over Canada, but especially, I mean, in Ontario, not just Ontario, but just, yeah, honestly, just all over Canada. There's a big mental health crisis going on where, you know, people who should be in mental hospitals or, you know, not allowed into a society, basically, because I was just thinking about it, but what if that guy was chasing like a little kid, right? Or a woman, right? Like someone who isn't as fast, or maybe someone who wouldn't be able to react as quickly, or just caught someone who's unaware, you know? Because I was listening to music, I was very aware of my surroundings, but you never know. Like I could have also just like started daydreaming at some point, and he could have caught up to me, and while I was listening to music, and anything could have happened, and that person should not be allowed, or any of the people who chase me should not be allowed to really walk around freely, right? But there are no mental institutions, or rather, there's no push for putting these people in mental institutions to rehab them, or, you know, to help their behavior. There's really nothing. There just isn't, which is a big issue. And so I want to be able to walk at night. Now I'm always fucking scared. I'm always like turning my head. I'm like an owl, bro. Just an owl. And one thing I've noticed is now that I'm walking less because of these things, my productivity has dropped. I've become not lazy, but I would say it's easier for me to procrastinate now, because usually I'm very motivated after a walk. I like to do things that, you know, are, or not even after a walk, but before a walk, I like to do things that are difficult, not even necessarily difficult, just things that I know need to be done, like, you know, make YouTube videos, live stream, do whatever. And then I go and walk as like a reward for myself, because it's supposed to be relaxing, it's supposed to be enjoyable. Now that I'm not going on walks, it's like I just procrastinate, because it's like I don't get that enjoyment, I don't get that relaxation at the end of the day. And I feel like I somehow compensate with it by scrolling on social media. So one thing about procrastination is generally the worst. It feels like my life is just getting sucked out of me, bro. Like I don't really do anything in my day, which I really enjoy, which sucks, right? You don't want that. But yeah, obviously, I cannot say that walking is an issue when it comes to procrastination. It goes deeper than that, because if it wasn't for walking, something else could be the catalyst for it. But I'm just saying that I really want to be able to walk at night safely. And the second thing is, procrastination is the biggest, you know, killer of life, you could say. Like it just it just drains your life force. There's no fun to be had when you're procrastinating. So to that extent, I would say do something difficult in your day, or not difficult, but something that you can enjoy, something physical, like going on a walk, going to the gym, because those things help clear out your mind and help you stay focused. And if you really want something bad enough, maybe you just delete social media. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna delete my Instagram, because it's been taking up way too much of my time. But thank you everybody so much for watching. That covers everything I wanted to say for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment. If you're not subscribed, do it. If you want to watch me stream on Twitch, go check out my Twitch channel. Link is in the description below. And I will see you all tomorrow.